Breaking news overnight of a deadly crash, where it took place and what happened.
Plus, policing the police. How will Madison do it? We'll let you know what happened at a meeting where the people have the power.
And starting off this last day of November in the upper 20s and low 30s. One last mild day with some sun before some unsettled weather heads our way. More coming up.
Good Thursday morning, everybody. Welcome to News 3 Now this morning. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Leah Lynchine.
I'm Chris Stanford. Kelly Slipka's got your first warn forecast. A little bit warmer this morning the past couple of days.
Yeah, every morning's been about 10 degrees warmer than the previous.
We'll take it.
Yeah, this is going to be probably the peak, though. It looks like things are going to change a little bit going into the weekend with some slightly cooler temperatures and also some mixed precipitation headed our way. Some rain and snow expected for the weekend. All right, now we're starting out in the lower 30s. 32 in Madison, 34 in Middleton, 27 in Brooklyn. Winds are right now at 32 as well. So we are running about 9, 10, 11 degrees warmer than yesterday. Some locations much warmer. 17 degrees warmer this morning up there in the Dells. Headed back in the low 40s today. Enjoy the sun because we've got some cloudy, gloomy weather headed our way. And some weak systems will bring us a little bit of rain and snow. It looks like it'll be a little bit unsettled for the weekend. It's going to be minor impacts for the weekend. Just kind of a nuisance for us for most of the weekend, even into early next week. Meantime, partly sunny skies today as we climb into the lower 40s here. Early this afternoon, the winds will switch around the northwest. We'll still get in low 40s, but some cooler areas lurking up to the north. That will arrive after dark tonight. Meantime, 43 expected today with partly sunny skies with those temperatures in the lower 40s today. We'll talk more about the weekend system that'll bring us a mix of some rain and snow. More on that coming up in 15 minutes.
All right, Kelly with that first warn. Thank you. We're following up on some breaking news this morning. 2 people are dead following a crash in Dodge County. The sheriff's office says they received calls about a wrong-way driver near the township of Lomira around 6:30. Deputies tried to find the vehicle afterward, but by then the driver had been involved in a crash. The sheriff's office says an 82-year-old woman driving an SUV was driving in the wrong lane down Interstate 41 outside Lomira. She hit a minivan head-on, killing its 34-year-old driver. When deputies arrived at the crash, they found both drivers dead.
To the conflict in the Middle East now, new overnight violence there, where a ceasefire is supposed to be stretching into a 7th day. Now, Israel says 2 Palestinian shooters opened fire at a crowded bus stop in Jerusalem. 3 people are dead, several others injured. That deal to extend the ceasefire, meanwhile, was reached overnight. The fighting between Israel and Hamas is still on pause. 16 more hostages are now out of the Gaza Strip. That includes a 49-year-old Israeli-American woman. Her husband is still in captivity.
I talked with her mother and father. They're very appreciative, and things are moving well. She'll soon be home with her 3 children.
As for the youngest hostage, a 10-month-old baby held with his 4-year-old brother and mom might be dead this morning. Hamas says an airstrike from Israel, an Israeli airstrike, killed them. Israel, though, is investigating. 6:02
now. The office tasked with holding Madison police accountable wants your feedback on how it does just that.
So the Madison Independent Police Monitor held its first of several planned community listening sessions last night, focused on a process for how the department will receive complaints about Madison police. Our Braden Ross was there and has this report.
It's been just over a year since Robert Copley was named Madison's Independent Police Monitor.
So far, this year has been mostly spent training and understanding what this role can become and what we can build.
He, alongside the Police Civilian Oversight Board, have been building an independent system to hold Madison police accountable from the ground up. And they want the community's help.
That's actually why we're here today, is to get the community's input on those procedures themselves.
Copley and the board held a listening session Wednesday night focused on creating a process for how they'll take and handle complaints against the Madison Police Department.
We want to make sure that we have a procedure in place to follow so that we're not taking each complaint as their own animal and trying to tame each one on their own.
You are an important part of what is going to create an ability to hold them accountable, because it hasn't happened.
Community members were invited to share their thoughts on several discussion questions, like how the office should track complaints,
what happens with this data once the complaint is made,
and what should go into a resolution.
You sit down with both parties and figure out what happened.
And for Copley, Wednesday night is just the start of bringing the public in on the quest for accountability.
I am independent of the mayor, of the Common Council, of the Madison Police Department, and therefore I am here for the people, to talk to the people, to listen to the people, to do the people's will.
That was our Braden Ross reporting. Now, Copley tells News 3 Now that he plans to release the details of upcoming listening sessions soon. We'll keep you updated on the next chance to join the conversation as we learn more.
Public Health Madison and Dane County will give more than $400,000 to support local groups working to prevent violence in the area. To date, the organization has awarded nearly $760,000 to more than a dozen local groups. This latest round comes from Dane County and the city of Madison. Applications for the money are open now. They're due by December 20th.
Janesville's acting police chief is now a finalist to take the job permanently. Chad Pearson has the unanimous support of the city's Police and Fire Commission. He's been filling in as interim chief ever since longtime chief David Moore retired in September. Pearson has been with the department since 1997. His permanent appointment is pending acceptance from an acceptance offer from the city.
Dane County authorities say they have 2 teenagers under arrest after they tried to get away from police in a stolen Mercedes. Police first spotted the Benz near Portage Road on the east side before seeing the same vehicle on Highway W. The car eventually hit spike strips on Highway K. The driver tried to keep going, but ended up stopping on the off-ramp to Airport Road here. A 16 and a 19-year-old were arrested. Neither teen has been officially charged.
Developing this morning, former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger has died. He passed away at his home in Connecticut early yesterday. Kissinger served as Secretary of State and National Security Advisor under Presidents Richard Nixon and Gerald Ford. During that time, he helped warm the U.S.'s relation with China and the Soviet Union, but he's most remembered perhaps for his role in the Vietnam War, where he was involved in the planning of the U.S. bombings of Cambodia in 1969 and 70. Henry Kissinger was 100 years old. We'll take a longer look at Kissinger's impact on American history coming up in about 10 minutes.
To campaign 2024, new polling data is giving us some insight into how next November's race could pan out. Experts from the Marquette University Law School poll held a panel on the topic. The main takeaways here from the new polling is Donald Trump making gains in multiple categories within the Republican Party. However, non-Trump candidates on the Republican side continue to fare better in potential head-to-head matchups against President Biden. There's still a long way to go, though, until Election Day.
First thing about polling data a year out is to remember that saying, don't panic. A year is forever in politics, and that's true of polls just like it is everything else.
Experts say the most useful part about polling this far out from an election is that it's helpful to see how a race develops over time.
6:07 now. Congress is set to vote on whether to expel Republican Representative George Santos tomorrow. The New York politician already faces criminal corruption charges, and now new accusations he misspent campaign money could result in even more legal trouble. Republicans introduced a resolution to oust him this week. The move follows an explosive House Ethics Committee report alleging Santos broke campaign finance laws by spending some of the money on Botox, shopping, and
this is very expensive. This is fraud. He refused to cooperate with the committee, which is our self-policing thing, and I think it's a pretty straightforward case.
Look, I'm not going to be bullied out of this job, out of the House, out of my seat. Now, if they want me out, vote me out.
Santos was indicted back in May. He already faces 23 federal charges for alleged fraud tied to his campaign finances. He's pleaded not guilty to all charges. A vote on Santos' expulsion is set for Friday. If it goes through, a special election would be triggered within 90 days.
Continuing coverage now, Governor Evers is addressing an alternate email account he used named after Hall of Fame pitcher Warren Spahn. This weekend, conservative outlet Wisconsin Right Now reported on the account. The governor defended his use of the address, saying other politicians, like former Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker, have done the same thing.
It's done to kind of protect my work time, and it doesn't impact anybody.
The governor added he hasn't used the Warren Spahn email address for a long time, and that anytime open records requests were filed, emails sent under that address were turned over. He went on to say that having an alternate email works, and he doesn't have any plans on changing it.
Coming up in your morning sports, it's tournament time for Wisconsin volleyball. We'll have a preview of their matchup tonight.
And enjoy the sunshine and mild temperatures today because some clouds and also some rain and snow in the forecast. We'll have the first warm forecast just ahead.
Embrace the season of giving at the Century House. Donate $50 or more to charity and get $200 off any stressless recliner with power, any stressless recliner and ottoman, or any stressless home office chair. Or get $200 off each stressless sofa seat, or $400 off all stressless Mayfair recliners and ottomans in all Paloma leather colors. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
SSM Health and News 3 Now would like to invite you and your family to make a colorful connection this giving season.
Go to channel3000.com to download a Time for Kids coloring sheet, or find it in November's Madison magazine. Add color and a kind message, then mail it to SSM Health.
They'll share with a hospital patient who can't be home for the holidays.
And you might even see it on News 3 Now. Take time for kids and spread joy to others by making a colorful connection.
It's that time of year again, America. So let's light up the season during the Make the Holidays Bright sales event. Choose from a large inventory of Ford vehicles equipped with technology, space, and flexibility for any season. Get special offers on our adventure-ready SUVs or on our great selection of Ford trucks. And make the holidays bright with Ford. Now choose FlexBuy on Bronco Sport with 2.9% APR financing for 66 months, plus 1,000 FlexBuy, 1,000 bonus, and 1,000 low APR cash.
You want it, we got it, it's all here. Rosemont it. You want some ice time, a nice time, so good you post it twice time. You want some cheer? Now I'll show you where you gotta be. Tell you who you gotta see. Ooh, it's gonna make you smile. You want it, we got it, it's all here. Rosemont.
Enjoy the magic of the North Pole, just east of O'Hare, with miles of memories waiting to be made. To Rosemont it your way, start at rosemont.com.
Rosemont it.
At U.S. Cellular, anyone can get any phone free. So give yourself a free phone.
She's here.
Then give yourself the gift of not checking it. The gift of connection at U.S. Cellular. New and current customers get any phone free.
The best advice I ever got was to invest with Vanguard for my retirement. The second best, stay healthy enough to enjoy it. So I started preparing, physically and financially. Then you came along and made every mile worth it. Hi, Mom.
At Vanguard, you're more than just an investor. You're an owner, helping you prepare for today's longer retirement. That's the value of ownership.
You're watching the Emmy Award-winning News 3 Now this morning.
Welcome back. 6:12 on your Thursday. Former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger died yesterday at the age of 100. The German-born American statesman became a household name in the 70s. He was working to end the Vietnam War and the Cold War. Skylar Henry looks back on his life.
Henry Kissinger rose to the heights of American government and helped steer U.S. foreign policy through a turbulent era. He served as National Security Advisor, Secretary of State for 2 presidents, and won the Nobel Peace Prize. Kissinger was born Heinz Alfred Kissinger in Fürth, Germany in 1923. As a teenager, he moved to the U.S. with his family to flee the Nazis. He later returned to Germany as a U.S. soldier. After World War II, Kissinger went to Harvard, first as a student, then as a professor of government. In 1968, President Nixon tapped him to be his national security advisor. In that role, Kissinger instituted the policy of détente to ease tensions with the Soviet Union. He also secretly traveled to China to foster a new U.S. relationship. The result was an historic 1972 summit that ended more than 2 decades of hostility between the two countries. A year later, Egypt and Syria launched a surprise attack on Israel. Now Secretary of State, Kissinger continued his diplomatic travels, which became known as shuttle diplomacy. He personally met with various leaders in the Middle East and helped negotiate an end to the Yom Kippur War.
In no area of the world is it more difficult to promote a just and lasting peace.
But the most pressing U.S. foreign policy issue was Vietnam. In 1970, Kissinger began secret negotiations with the North Vietnamese, hoping to end U.S. involvement in the war.
We have brought them to this point with considerable difficulty and with considerable anguish.
The brokered deal earned Kissinger and the North Vietnamese leader the 1973 Nobel Peace Prize. But the anticipated ceasefire didn't stick, and in a conversation with Nixon, captured on tape, Kissinger made a blunt proposal to get North Vietnam back to the bargaining table.
I would then recommend that we start farming the retreaters out of them within 48 hours.
Kissinger remained a powerful voice in the White House even after Nixon resigned during the Watergate scandal. As Secretary of State under President Gerald Ford, Kissinger saw Saigon fall in 1975, which effectively ended the war in Vietnam.
Near Athens, Georgia.
Kissinger also enjoyed his role as a celebrity. He was often seen on the town, socializing with celebrities like Lauren Bacall and Elizabeth Taylor. One of his most famous quotes, "Power is the ultimate aphrodisiac." Even into his 90s, Kissinger advised the Obama administration and offered commentary on international affairs. His intellect and experience sought after until his death. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Washington.
Henry Kissinger leaves behind a wife and 2 grown children.
6:15. Kelly Slifka's out on the patio. How's it feeling, Kelly?
Feeling chilly, but not terribly so. Actually, a little bit milder than yesterday. I am noticing some frost on the vehicles in the parking lot, so you might have to scrape some of that off this morning, as we did have mostly clear skies. We still have mostly clear skies right now, as that sun's coming up on the horizon. Temperature starting out near freezing this morning, but we will rise into the lower 40s this afternoon. That's before a cold front that will arrive as we get towards sunset there around 4:30 or so. That's why you see those temperatures tail off. So we'll turn cooler this evening. All right, we have a system moving in this weekend that's going to be kind of a slow-moving system, if you will. We'll see bouts of precipitation moving in. As far as snowfall amounts, it looks to be fairly minor starting Friday night into a Saturday. It looks like the best chance of any accumulation would be closer to the Illinois border, maybe up to an inch of snow. If you head south of Rockford, you might be talking about 1 to 2 inches of snow down there. We're not looking at a whole lot of precipitation, just kind of nuisance rain and snow events going into the upcoming weekend. And we'll have plenty of dry periods. It's just a difficulty in exactly timing these, but one will be coming in tomorrow. And that's a storm system that's mainly going to be affecting the nation's midsection, the Ohio Valley. We'll be on the extreme northern fringe of it. May bring in a little bit of rain and snow shower activity right along the border, maybe reaching the Madison area. That'd probably be the northern extent of it. Friday night, a little better chance of seeing some snow passing through. This will be later in the evening toward the midnight hour. And as you get down toward Janesville, Monroe, maybe up to an inch of snow. Then another bout arrives late Saturday night into Sunday. That'll be a mixture of some rain and snow. It's just going to be kind of sloppy system for us going into the upcoming weekend. Thanks, Raymonda from Linden Station got this full moon with some of those high, thin clouds. Definitely a November sky. Probably see that again tonight with some of these clouds moving on in. Temperatures today in the low 40s, as mentioned. That'll be around 3, 4 o'clock, but we will drop off pretty quickly as the cold front arrives, dropping down closer to freezing as we get towards 6 o'clock, even in the upper 20s toward 9 o'clock. Here's that cold front that will arrive later this afternoon into the evening, but it's a Pacific cold front. It doesn't have a whole lot of cold air with it. So we'll track some of these rain-snow mix moving in tomorrow morning, mainly along the Illinois border. Then that secondary round arrives early Saturday morning. That moves out pretty quickly. Most of Saturday dry. Saturday night into a Sunday, we'll have a chance of some of this mixture moving in. So once again, none of these major, just kind of a sloppy system that will bring us bouts of some minor impacts going into the upcoming weekend. Right now, 32 here, 34 in Janesville. Enjoy the sun today, because after that, we've got days on end of cloudy weather and also those bouts of light precipitation, a little bit of rain, a little bit of snow here and there. That'll continue into early next week. Then we warm up well in the 40s by Thursday and Friday.
Wisconsin volleyball ended their regular season with a statement, but now it's time to dance. The Badgers entered the NCAA tournament as the number 3 overall seed and the top seed in their region of the bracket. UW will host a 17-win Jackson State squad on Thursday, and more than likely they'll advance to Friday's second round. And while this time of the year is exciting, this group knows there's still work to be done to raise another banner.
Everybody's saying that it's time to dance, and I feel like it's special season, you know? It's special season because you only get one chance and you realize how important the attitude of just one game at a time is.
New season mindset, you know? It's not the same as what it was in the Big Ten. It's kind of like a reset, so kind of taking that and chipping away each match at a time, not looking who's ahead or what's to come next, but really handling what's right in front of us.
Speaking of Badger volleyball, this week's Wisconsin Huddle is all volleyball. 2021 national champ Lauren Barnes stops by to break down UW's season so far and map out their run at another national championship. Show starts at 6:30 on Friday, right here on News 3 Now. Caroline Harvey got off to a fantastic start to her sophomore season, tallying 16 points in 7 games. And then the Badger forward suffered a knee injury on October 20th and has been out of the lineup ever since. But Harvey is making progress. The reigning WCHA Rookie of the Year has been back on the ice skating with a non-contact jersey, and there's hope she'll make her return before Wisconsin's winter break.
She's on a path to get her back into some games and before we break here. So whether that's this weekend or whether it's up in Minneapolis, you know, there's an opportunity for her to be on the ice. And so we all wish it's, you know, Saturday against Duluth, but, you know, she's practicing and, you know, doing well and, you know, seems to be in a good place right now.
And the Badger women's basketball team picked up another non-conference win. Wisconsin took down Northern Illinois 75-54. Sarah Williams led the way for UW with 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 blocks. They're back on the court Sunday when they host Butler. And that's it for Morning Sports. Have a great day.
Thanks, Zach. You too. Still ahead, a surprising return to the practice field. Whether Aaron Rodgers thinks he can play again this season.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Call for action only on News 3 Now.
Black Friday mattress deals have been extended for one final week at Ashley. It's your last chance to save up to 83% off top mattress brands. Plus low monthly payments with special interest financing for 6 long years. Only at Ashley.
Christmas season, shop Masterforce at Menards with gifts so good the stockings stuff themselves.
Warm season's greetings to you all from Menards.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With inflation rising at record levels and incomes not keeping pace, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
Whatever the holidays mean to you, get the most out of them in a new Honda. Whether it's taking in the lights with all your friends in a spacious Accord, or taking in a snow day in a rugged CRV. Your holiday adventure awaits with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Quartz takes a different approach to health insurance. We know every life well lived is a journey, and we're here to light the way at every step. That's why for 40 years, we've been alongside the doctors and hospitals who know what their communities need. Because they're a part of them. Because we're a part of them. There's a fire burning in all of us. Let's ignite it together. Quartz. Find your spark.
Black Friday deals have been extended for one final week at Ashley. It's your last chance to save up to 65% off doorbusters and special deals on our hottest looks store-wide. Plus special interest financing for 6 long years with low monthly payments. Only at Ashley.
Well, it's been a while since we talked about Aaron Rodgers. He's trending today. The former Packers quarterback is returning to Jets practice. Video of him going viral yesterday after he was cleared for practice once again after tearing his Achilles just 11 weeks ago during the opener in his debut for the Jets. So the latest on a possible return to like an actual game. He says he's not healthy enough at this point to play.
Guy can't help himself. He's got to stay in the news, doesn't he?
Maybe he's just that eager to play some football.
I'm sure he is. And hey, I mean, it is impressive that he's out on a field after tearing his Achilles. Look at him kind of jog there. My goodness.
Even doing that, 11 weeks after tearing his Achilles, most athletes, it takes them an entire year to get back on the field. Here, Rodgers is just 11 weeks. But yes, you're absolutely right. Is this just him trying to stay relevant, trying to stay in the headlines because he knows he doesn't want to actually risk it, because if he re-injures that thing and then that's really bad.
Another day, another Rodgers headline.
All right, so we have a really bad crash on I-41 south of Fond du Lac this morning. Kelly, what's going on there?
Yeah, it's just south of Fond du Lac. It's actually very close to where we had that accident yesterday. We actually have an 8-mile stretch of those southbound lanes coming out of Fond du Lac that is closed in that area, and you can see the backup on I-41 southbound. You can see all the traffic lights headed toward the camera there. I want to quickly look at our bus stop forecast. We are looking at temperatures this morning in the 30s. Need the jacket this morning, but maybe a light jacket this afternoon with highs in the lower 40s.
A lot to break down coming up in the forecast. Kelly will have that right after this.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
If your home or business property has suffered storm damage, go with Ace Exterior Solutions. Ace will work with your insurance company to get you the best results for your damaged roof, siding, or gutters. Call now for a free storm damage inspection from Ace Exterior Solutions.
News 3 is seeking top sales talent to join our media sales team. We're not just hiring, we're building careers. Apply at channel3000.com. Unlock your earning potential and be a part of something big.
Pick and Save gives you so many ways to save, on top of our lower than low prices. Enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. Earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon. And with a Boost membership, you'll save even more with double fuel points and free delivery. Plus, our weekly sales will keep your budget merry and bright. So get rewarded and save. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Here we go. I knew I could do it. I just had to take the first step.
Hey, how's it going? Marcus, my boy. Welcome to my humble abode. Nice to meet you.
When Marcus came to my door, it was my chance to give someone a safe place to stay for a little while.
When you open your heart and home through foster parenting, you're helping the teen write new chapters, which can positively impact the teen for the rest of their life.
Be part of the story.
For more information about becoming a foster parent, contact Children's Wisconsin.
Roast beef. 4 for $10. Yeah, you know. That classic Arby's. Roast beef. Roast beef. 4 for $10. Arby's. We have the meat.
The best advice I ever got was to invest with Vanguard for my retirement. The second best, stay healthy enough to enjoy it. So I started preparing, physically and financially. Then you came along and made every mile worth it. Hi, Mom.
At Vanguard, you're more than just an investor. You're an owner, helping you prepare for today's longer retirement. That's the value of ownership.
However you do the holidays, do it together in the Chevy that's right for you. The strong and capable Chevy Silverado, the award-winning Chevy Equinox, or the all-new Chevy Trax. This holiday season, do more together in a new Chevy. Get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups, or current Chevy owners can use Red Tag bonus cash to get $5,000 total cash allowance on this Silverado. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Don't take a chance when it comes to your home or business. Go with Ace Exterior Solutions. Call Ace now and save hundreds with their money-saving fall discounts on roofing and siding. Locally owned, full service, and always guaranteed. Ace Exterior Solutions.
Breaking news overnight, a car crash kills 2 drivers. What happened there and where? Straight ahead.
Plus, an early morning deal to extend the truce brings relief to civilians in Gaza. What Israel says prompted the last-minute decision.
There's a lack of humanity in some ways, but I think what's really great is that people are showing up.
Plus, UW alums show up to support their university during tense times on campus. How they're helping students move forward.
All right, temperatures starting off in the upper 20s and low 30s this morning. One last mild day and some sunshine before some clouds, and rain and snow head our way. More on that coming up.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Leah Lynchine. Thanks for waking up with us. A beautiful sunrise out there. We get such nice ones this time of year. And it's a little bit warmer yet again today.
Yeah, we've been about 10 degrees warmer each morning, and that's what we're seeing this morning. Still need the winter jacket, but it looks like later today, maybe just a light jacket or a sweatshirt, because we do have one last mild day before some changes come our way. 32 right now in Madison. It is 30 down in the south in Monroe, 34 in Janesville, Watertown, and Juneau currently at 31 degrees. Now we're running 9, 10, 11 degrees warmer than yesterday, even a lot warmer there in the Dells. 16 degrees warmer starting off this last day of November. Headed into December, things will start to change. We do have some sunshine today with low 40s. It does get a bit unsettled starting tomorrow through the weekend into early next week. Now, not a major event headed our way, but we will have these bouts of some rain and snow mixed coming our way throughout the weekend into early next week. So we'll look at partly sunny skies. We climb into the lower 40s here at the noon hour. We'll have a westerly wind and low 40s this afternoon. Eventually that wind will switch around the north and bring us some cooler weather by this evening through tonight and also tomorrow. 32 right now. The winds are out of the south, so that's adding a little bit of a chill. Temperatures climbing through the 30s and the low 40s here at the noon hour. I want to get to our first warrant traffic. We do have a major accident. It's way up on the north side. Madison roads are clear. We can see all this green, but this is up just south of Fond du Lac, headed toward Lomira. The southbound lanes of 41 are closed. It's about an 8-mile stretch headed into that accident, and it is causing a lot of delays headed south out of Fond du Lac.
All right, Kelly Slivka, thank you. We're going to get back to the breaking news near Fond du Lac. Here's a look at a big slowdown on I-41. This is an 8-mile stretch that's closed down. You can see just how slow traffic is moving here. Dispatch tells us multiple cars are involved. This is outside of Lomira, about an hour and 20 minutes northeast of the Madison metro area. All southbound lanes along I-41 are closed from County Road B in Fond du Lac County to 67 in Dodge County.
More breaking news overnight along that exact same stretch in Dodge County that we're watching this morning. A deadly wrong-way crash. The sheriff's office says they received calls about a wrong-way driver near the township of Lomira again around 6:30 last night. Deputies tried to find the vehicle, but by then the driver was already involved in a crash. The sheriff's office says an 82-year-old woman was driving an SUV in the wrong lane down 41. She hit a minivan head-on, killing its 34-year-old driver. When deputies arrived to the crash, they found that both drivers had died.
Now to some developing news in the Middle East this morning. A deadly shooting at a crowded bus stop in Israel. It happened during rush hour in Jerusalem. Police there say that 2 Palestinian brothers with ties to Hamas opened fire. At least 3 are dead. Several others are injured. This hours after Israel and Hamas reached an agreement to extend a temporary pause in fighting to a 7th day. The deal came minutes before the truce was set to expire. Israel says it received some new information, a list of women and children hostages that Hamas will release.
Here in Madison, UW police say they're investigating a racist incident on campus. On Tuesday, multiple people interrupted a student group meeting in the Humanities building. Police say they made racist and threatening comments toward Asian and Arab people. Officers say they have identified the individuals involved. They're still encouraging witnesses who haven't come forward yet to call UW police. The university, meanwhile, is condemning the incident. In a news release last night, the Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs said in part, hate and racism in this incident, anti-Arab and anti-Asian sentiments have no place on our campus.
That incident is the latest in a series of bias-related events on and around campus this semester. Earlier this month, a group of neo-Nazis marched from campus to Capitol Square. Just days after, a group of more than 1,000 UW alumni found a way to help students move forward. Our Armand Rahman reports.
We didn't know what was happening. We learned about it sort of in real time.
Real time was under 24 hours. Right after neo-Nazis marched through downtown Madison, it took over 1,000 UW alumni just one day to raise more than $15,000 for Jewish students.
They were students once. This is important to them. They wanted them to feel good, proud, strong, and taken care of. And I'm not typically an emotional guy, but I think it was really powerful.
A surprising show of love for current Badgers like Caroline Grell.
I think it's a glimmer of hope because people show up in their communities, people support people.
Hope that couldn't come at a more crucial time. On top of the fear that the Nazis spread through Madison, Jewish, Israeli, and Palestinian students have been dealing with the effects of the Israel-Hamas war.
A lot of people, not just Jewish people, are suffering. We're in this really difficult moment, and there's a lack of humanity in some ways, but I think what's really great is that people are showing up.
Jewish organizations on campus will use the money for Shabbat dinners, open to students of any faith.
It's probably our biggest event of the week, so having support for that means a lot.
A time eating and being together goes a long way, especially in bleak times.
You know, part of getting through hard moments in life is looking for ways to rejuvenate. I think for the Jewish people, Shabbat is kind of like that recharging, right? That's sort of what it is. Unplug, focus on other things, and come out of it 26 hours later, renewed.
Renewed, and Krell hopes reinvigorated to help others.
It's standing with people outside of the Jewish community. It's standing with Palestinians. It's talking to our friends. It's talking to our families. And it's having difficult conversations, and it's supporting one another.
That was Armand Rahman reporting. The first of the Shabbat dinners the Alumni Help Fund is this Friday.
Meanwhile, students are continuing to show their support for those most greatly affected by the war, people in both Israel and Palestine. Two separate demonstrations on the UW campus took place yesterday. On Library Mall, a coalition of Jewish organizations placed white chairs with pictures and names of the Hamas hostages. And then on Bascom Hill, a pro-Palestinian group held what's called a die-in. That's when people lay on the sidewalk as the names of the dead are read out loud. Both groups are sharing the messages they hope to spread with those demonstrations.
All we can do as, representing the Jewish student body is coming together and being strong and showing that, our message is filled of love and peace and unity and stuff and not of hate.
I know that a lot of people are aware of it, but it's just like saying, hey, in case you haven't been noticing, this is something that's still going on. We want to make sure that people still know that this is happening because we do need a permanent ceasefire.
These are the latest in a set of demonstrations we've seen on campus over the past few months.
Since the start of the war, we have seen multiple instances of hate-based violence targeting Arabs, Muslims, and Jews throughout the country. The U.S. Department of Justice says religion is the second most common motivator for hate crimes in the state. In Rock County, law enforcement officials and local religious leaders are addressing the community's concerns over safety. Sheriff's Office and national representatives from the DOJ all met yesterday for a special training session on protecting places of worship. This comes at a time when religious communities say the question is not if they'll be targeted for their religion, rather when.
This is a broader concept and really opens up for everybody within our Rock County community to hopefully make a difference and prepare for anything negative that could happen like this.
Rock County officials tell News 3 Now this training is just the first step toward building safer communities, and these conversations are necessary to address people's concerns and come up with creative solutions.
All right, at 6:38 on your Thursday. Coming up after the break, what a new study about preterm birth rates and the coronavirus reveals about getting vaccinated.
And the sun is starting to come up on the horizon here. Enjoy that for now because we do have some clouds and eventually some unsettled weather headed our way starting tomorrow. We'll have the first warm forecast into the weekend coming up.
However you do the holidays, do it together in the Chevy that's right for you. The strong and capable Chevy Silverado, the award-winning Chevy Equinox, or the all-new Chevy Trax. This holiday season, do more together in a new Chevy.
Get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups, or current Chevy owners can use Red Tag Bonus Cash to get $5,000 total cash allowance on this Silverado. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Volunteering offers more than benefits for those served. Volunteers reap health benefits from the time they give. RSVP of Dane County's Driver Services Program needs volunteers to provide rides to medical appointments and deliver meals to older adults in Dane County. Ideal candidates are of legal driving age, love to drive, and meet new people. Schedules are very flexible, and volunteer drivers will use their own vehicles and are reimbursed for mileage. To make a difference this holiday season, please contact RSVP of Dane County today.
There's a reason big dental bills often come as a shock, because sometimes you don't realize what's not covered until you get the bill. That's why affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual is important. It can give you benefits that go beyond what you get from more limited coverage plans. Because no one likes a big dental bill, especially if you're retired or on a fixed income. For a free information kit, call or go online now. This isn't some discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps cover over 350 procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures, at any dentist you want. Dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company helps cover preventive care, basic work, and major procedures, with no deductibles and no annual maximum. For your free information kit with all the details, call now or visit sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Only at Vanguard, you're more than just an investor, you're an owner. That means your priorities are ours, too. Our retirement tools and advice can help you leave a legacy for the ones you love. That's the value of ownership.
When the hands that do the fixing need fixing, when the hands that do the caring need caring, that's a job for O'Keeffe's Working Hands. It's America's #1 selling hand cream and guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked hands. Also available in O'Keeffe's for healthy feet.
SSM Health and News 3 Now would like to invite you and your family to make a colorful connection this giving season.
Go to channel3000.com to download a Time for Kids coloring sheet, or find it in November's Madison magazine. Add color and a kind message, then mail it to SSM Health.
They'll share with a hospital patient who can't be home for the holidays.
And you might even see it on News 3 Now. Take time for kids and spread joy to others by making a colorful connection.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
Checking back in now on our breaking news. A big slowdown on I-41. Look at all the traffic that's being rerouted from the interstate. This is south of Fond du Lac. There's an 8-mile stretch of the interstate that is closed down. You see just how slow traffic is moving here and how congested things are. Dispatch tells us multiple cars crashed. This is outside of Lomira. All southbound lanes along I-41 are closed from County Road B in Fond du Lac County to 67 in Dodge County.
We'll keep an eye on that for you. Bring you any updates right here on News 3 Now this morning. At 6:42, a new study with findings from a UW professor shows that COVID vaccines could help lower premature birth rates.
Our Catherine Merck spoke with the professor about what this vaccine means for vaccinations for those who are expecting.
You know, we have every reason to believe that vaccines are safe in pregnancy. All of the evidence suggests that.
We've heard this before. Vaccinations are safe. But a new study shows that not getting your COVID shot can have even more consequences for babies.
There are costs to the fetus of avoiding vaccination.
A new study with findings published partly by UW-Madison professor Jenna Nobles found that COVID-19 caused an alarming surge in premature births. However, vaccines were key to returning the early birth rate to pre-pandemic levels. The team compared siblings who were born before the pandemic and those who were born after.
It seems that the population immunity conferred both from people's exposure to the virus, in fact, people had cases of COVID, but also because of vaccination was extremely protective against the risk of having COVID on pregnancy outcomes.
This professor says the research makes a compelling argument in favor of getting vaccinations and boosters. So while this study is brand new, she says it leads to the same message doctors have been saying all along.
Vaccination for people thinking about getting pregnant and for people who are pregnant is a good idea.
That was Catherine Merck reporting. Preterm birth is associated with short and long-term health problems. It's the leading cause of infant mortality. It can also lead to a need for more medical attention, costing families thousands. So while the study presents some new findings, the message about getting vaccinated remains the same.
In more COVID news, schools will be able to request free antigen tests next month. The Department of Health and Human Services says it'll start providing districts with information on how to make those requests. Schools will be able to keep the tests on site or send them home with students. This comes as hospitalizations in Wisconsin from COVID are on the rise. Officials are expecting them to spike.
All right, coming up on 6:45, Kelly Slifka's out on the patio. How is it out there?
Yeah, you know, it's a little chilly, especially with the wind, but that wind has been keeping temperatures up overnight, and we are just been hanging out at freezing. I noticed some frost on the cars in the parking lot, so you might have to scrape some of that off this morning if you are headed out. But in general, the mild weather is going to continue not only today, but really right through much of next week into the following weekend. This is our 8 to 14 day outlook, so much of the country seeing above average temperatures. But in the meantime, we are talking about a system that's going to be moving in this weekend. Actually, a couple of systems moving in. They're nothing really strong for us, but they will be bringing in bouts of some rain and snow. One comes in tomorrow, mainly affecting our southern counties. Janesville, Monroe area might see a little bit of rain mixed with some snow. Looks like it'll be minor accumulation with that. Then on Friday night, a secondary batch of some snow moves in, maybe up to an inch of snow, especially once again toward that Illinois border. And then we should see dry weather Saturday, but then Saturday night and Sunday, another system brings in a chance of a little bit of rain mixed with some snow. That'll continue toward the end of the weekend. Either way, a lot of clouds on the way, so enjoy the sun that we are expecting today. We'll see a mix of clouds and sun, but at least some bright skies at times as temperatures climb above average, getting up to 43. The average now is 38. The sun will be up here at 7:08 this morning. All right, temperatures today should be topping out in the lower 40s. Already above 40 here at the noon hour, low 40s into the mid-afternoon hours. But then we do have a cold front that will arrive as we get towards sunset, and that will allow those temperatures to drop behind that front fairly quickly through the 30s and even into the 20s as we get toward 9 o'clock. So temperatures will cool off fairly quickly behind this cold front, but it is a Pacific front, so not a whole lot of cold air behind it. It's not tapping into all that Canadian cold air. Okay, tomorrow morning, we're talking about the system mainly affecting the nation's midsection, but you can see we're on the northern fringe of that. A little bit of sleet mixed in the pink, the blue, a little bit of snow, mainly the southern counties tomorrow morning. Affecting the Chicago area. That moves on out Friday afternoon, Friday early evening should be dry, but then a secondary batch moves in, producing maybe upwards of an inch of snow, especially south of Madison. That moves out Saturday morning, so then we are dry most of Saturday, Saturday evening. Later Saturday night, another system moves in. That brings in a mix of some rain and snow. That'll be affecting us mainly Sunday going into the afternoon hours. Should start to wind down as that system moves on out. 32 in Madison, 34 in Janesville. A little bit cooler there in Lone Rock at 29, all the way down to 19 in Boscoville. But most of us in the upper 20s and low 30s across Dane County. 27 in Cross Plains, 29 in Mount Horeb, 28 currently in Stoughton. So 43 today. Enjoy the sun because after that we are expecting several days in a row of cloudy weather and these bouts of light rain and light snow with us. No major storm system, no major impact, just kind of a nuisance for us, keeping things kind of damp and sloppy at times through the weekend and actually into early next week. Looks like we rebound though, temperature-wise, and also get back into some sunshine with temperatures back in the low to mid 40s by next Thursday and Friday.
Okay, Kelly, thank you. Folks, tonight, the Wisconsin volleyball team will kick off their NCAA tournament campaign at the UW Fieldhouse against Jackson State. You can catch national champion Lauren Barnes talking about it on tomorrow's Wisconsin Huddle. UW is looking to extend their 3-match winning streak with a win over the Tigers tonight. Barnes sat down with News 3 Now Sports Director Zach Hanley recently about the mindset players will need in order to win.
This is a whole new season. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. You ended the season strong, kind of firing on all cylinders. So how can you bring that in and then just enjoy the moment? You have 6 games left of the year, tops. So just make every second of it count.
So if the Badgers win tonight, they will face off with either the University of Northern Iowa or the University of Miami. You can watch Barnes' full interview with Zach tomorrow at 6:30. After News 3 Now at 6.
The women are so fun to watch,
talented.
but I hate to admit I've never been to the Fieldhouse to see a game.
I've not seen these gals play at the Fieldhouse either. We are behind you, though, ladies. Best of luck.
Oh, fun. Okay, 6:48 coming up in the morning sprint. Details on that breaking news car crash along I-41 outside of Dodge County.
If you got a little kiddo turning 3 soon, we'd love to help him celebrate. Send us a picture. We'll show it on TV.
Sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Black Friday mattress deals have been extended for one final week at Ashley. It's your last chance to save up to 83% off top mattress brands, plus low monthly payments with special interest financing for 6 long years. Only at Ashley.
It's time to light up the season during the Make the Holidays Bright sales event. Get our best offers and choose from a huge selection of Ford F-150 trucks with the capability, convenience, and technology to help bring us together. Wow. Discover how Ford F-150 can make the holidays bright. Now, lease a built Ford Tough F-150 STX for $399 a month for 36 months. Only at your local Ford dealer.
Stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour. I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. When I met Dr. Ginniker and he introduced me to Power Swabs and I saw how effective they were and how easy they were to use, I knew we had to share it with the world. Power Swabs was clinically studied to whiten natural teeth as well as stain caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so effective, it works on stains caused by coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking. For those of you who have that one stained tooth that's darker than the rest, Power Swabs can target that area using swab precision.
My favorite thing about the Power Swabs is that I was actually able to take the swab and really get through some of those areas that are kind of like untreated. I felt like I can immediately see the results and I'm like, oh, I'm definitely starting to see the shades getting brighter and brighter or whiter and whiter.
If you have yellowing between your teeth, if you have coffee or tea stains near your gum line, just snap, swab, and smile. And in each 5-minute application, you'll see whiter teeth. So stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays and start using the Power Swabs 5-minute solution.
Well, they're whiter, they're brighter, and I feel better about my smile. And it was so easy to do.
One friend was like, your teeth look like really white. Did you do anything to it? And I was like, I did. I did Power Swabs.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. This Cyber Week, order Power Swabs and receive up to 50% off the retail price. And as an added bonus, get a free Power Swabs Quick Stick Pen with your order. The Quick Stick Pen is your on-the-go solution to help prevent stains from adhering to your teeth after drinking coffee, tea, or even after smoking. And in addition to saving up to 50% off and your free Quick Stick Pen, get free shipping by ordering now. Dial the number on your screen or visit powerswabs.com today.
Black Friday deals have been extended for one final week at Ashley. It's your last chance to save up to 65% off doorbusters and special deals on our hottest looks store-wide. Plus special interest financing for 6 long years with low monthly payments. Only at Ashley.
Rediscover life without pain. SSM Health Orthopedics.
6:52, time for the morning sprint.
We begin with breaking news of a massive slowdown along I-41. Take a look. This is in Dodge County near the township of Lomira, about an hour and 20 minutes outside of Madison here. It's an 8-mile stretch that's closed. You can see how slowly traffic is moving. Dispatch tells us multiple cars were involved in a crash. All southbound lanes along I-94 are closed from County Road B in Fond du Lac County to 67 in Dodge.
So the crash impacting that traffic backup happened at 5:30 this morning. Then there was another crash right at the same location outside of Lomira on I-41 yesterday evening. In that crash in Dodge County, a couple of people died. It's a deadly wrong-way crash here. Deputies say they got a call of a wrong-way driver on I-44. While responding to those calls, the driver crashed. A woman driving an SUV in the wrong lane was killed. She hit a minivan head-on, killing the driver of that minivan as well. Deputies arrived and found both drivers dead.
Developing overseas, at least 3 people are dead this morning. 6 more hurt after a shooting at a bus stop in Jerusalem. An armed civilian shot and killed the 2 suspects. Police say they were Palestinian brothers with ties to Hamas. The shooting happened at one of the entrances to Jerusalem.
Meanwhile, Israel and Hamas are extending their temporary ceasefire into a 7th day. The 2 came to an agreement this morning, just minutes before the truce was supposed to end. Israel says it received a list of 12 hostages Hamas will release today. This after news of the 2nd Israeli-American hostage being released yesterday.
Former Secretary of State and presidential advisor Henry Kissinger is dead. Kissinger was 100 years old. He died in his home in Connecticut. He served as Secretary of State and National Security Advisor for Presidents Richard Nixon and Gerald Ford. Kissinger is remembered for his role in the Vietnam War and his involvement in the bombings of Cambodia in 1969 and 1970.
To the nation's capital now, New York Representative George Santos will face an expulsion vote tomorrow. That information comes from Republican aides speaking on condition of anonymity to Reuters. The House will vote on Santos' fate following a bipartisan committee's investigation that found that he committed campaign finance fraud.
UW police are investigating a racist incident on campus this week. Officers say people unaffiliated with campus interrupted a student groups meeting on Tuesday. They specifically took aim at Asian and Arabic people. UW PD says it's identified those involved. It's still asking witnesses who haven't come forward yet to come speak with them.
State lawmakers are considering a bill that would offer tax credits to businesses that provide employees with child care. The bill would offer a maximum credit of $100,000. Republicans introduced the bill earlier this month. Now, some small business owners say that it'll only work for large businesses. Others worry it could push out the need for small daycare operators.
Federal labor inspectors are making 2 companies pay up for their roles in the death of a construction worker at Lambeau Fields. A dumbwaiter car hit and killed 27-year-old Joshua Shaw back in June. OSHA says the companies, Mavid and Myron Construction, exposed employees to hazards associated with dumbwaiters. Mavid will have to pay $15,000. Myron owes $19,000.
Madison police are looking for 2 people connected to an east side crash involving a stolen Jeep. Officers responded to the area of South Stoughton Road near the Beltline late Tuesday night. Police say the Jeep was going east on the Beltline before exiting at Stoughton. It ran into a sign and hit the sedan. The driver and a passenger ran off. The sedan driver's injuries are minor.
Meteorologist Kelly Slifka on this relatively mild start to our last day of November. 32 right now in Madison, 37 in the Dells. We do have some 20s off to the west, even down to a 19 in basketball. But we are looking at upper 30s here later this morning. Should be tapping out in the lower 40s. Partly sunny skies today, and enjoy the sun today because we are looking at quite a few clouds rolling in over the next several days. So bundle up the kids this morning, but it will be relatively mild. Looking at low 40s today with partly sunny skies. Our first warn forecast, we do have a chance of some rain snow mix, and we'll have that throughout the weekend. Nothing major headed our way, but we are calling for unsettled weather this weekend. All right, back to that accident. We do have all those lanes closed there on southbound 41, basically from 151 all the way down to 49.
We're going to keep an eye on that backup for you folks. Give you an update every half hour here on News 3 Now this morning.